Hi, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream on Monday. Every Monday, noon Eastern time, you can catch us here live on Crypto Tips. My name is Heidi.
And I'm Toby.
And we have Bitcoin price action. We have the DeFi space. We have some hackers. We have some ransoms. And some SEC sanctioned crypto companies getting some government funding. Oh, the irony. There's a lot to talk about with the news today. In addition to this, everyone who is in the live stream, hi Jan. Good to see you guys here. Carlos, Dee Dee, Richard, Tracy, Bill, Nick, Dave D, Kevin S. Hi, everyone.
Hafiz, what's up?
Everyone is here. If you caught my last video that I posted talking about my experience renouncing my U.S. citizenship, I'm open to answering any questions you guys might have about that process, or at least help point you in the direction that might be helpful for you. So if that's a topic you would like to be discussed today, go ahead and leave your questions in the live chat, and we will be addressing those as they come in.
What's up, Tracy?
Hi, everyone.
Typo, laid out.
Yeah. Auto Doe, this live stream just started with a scam ad. Yes. It is still going on. These ads that are like, for me, even on non-crypto YouTube videos, it's showing up with Vitalik Buterin talking, and it's a giant scam giveaway.
Hey, Johan.
Ironically, Ripple Labs are suing YouTube for not removing these ads fast enough because they were actually, I guess, impersonating the CEO of Ripple as well. So YouTube doesn't care. Anyway.
They're making their cash.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay. So let's get right into it. So let's talk about what happened in mid-July. Twitter was taken over. It seemed like all of the big names on Twitter were doing these crypto giveaways, doubling your crypto investments. Send them 1 Ether, they'll send you back 500 or something ridiculous. So what actually happened was the mastermind behind that hack was a 17-year-old from Florida. And so he got caught somehow. I don't know exactly how they caught him. He's a good enough hacker to get through Twitter and to hack into all of these big profile names, but not too good enough to actually cover his tracks. And so actually...
Don't get there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Actually, the scam itself, I think he got away, or he received something like $100,000 worth of cryptocurrencies. I don't know if it was just Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever he was getting. It was about $100,000 worth. And his bail has been set for $725,000 as his bail. Now, the thing is, and what's most amazing for me, this 17-year-old is in possession. He was in possession of at least 400 Bitcoin. But I guess he was also in some murky waters. He was under investigation last year in 2019. He had 400 Bitcoin seized. And I guess eventually the prosecutors didn't actually end up charging him. So they gave back 300 Bitcoin. Now, because of all that happened, you know, the legal system, whatever, they all know that this kid is in possession of 300 Bitcoin. At today's prices, that's like well over $3 million worth of Bitcoin. So he can definitely bail himself out of this situation. Yeah. But there is an argument there saying, he's going to use this stolen crypto to get himself out of jail. But his lawyer is saying, now listen, I don't know any other way that will legitimize funds other than authorities giving it to you. If they thought it was stolen funds, they probably wouldn't give it back. And why did they only give back 300?
I think they're putting it into the lending platform on BlockFi.
Oh my gosh. Especially because they didn't charge him with anything in that scenario. Yeah. So I don't know why they would justify it.
I mean, right now that's worth a $600,000 or no, 1.2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Geez.
So.
I mean, that just shows that kids are going to be really good at hacking. They're getting smarter.
It's a shame that he used his powers for a scam.
Okay, it's a shame, whatever. He's young, he's going to grow up, and he's going to realize, you know what, maybe I can actually make a difference in life. You know, he probably doesn't like the government in the first place, so that's probably why he got into Bitcoin and hacking and all that other stuff. So, it's bad that what he's doing, but you know what? The kid, he's going to be sought after for sure. You know, so he definitely made a name for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and he's already in the know. Thank you, Junie.
Can you
look at Mara involvement in crypto? I'm not familiar with that, but
I've heard of it.
Maybe we can tweet about it or something.
Sure.
So if you follow us on Twitter at Blockchain Chick, we'll maybe do something about Mara. Yeah. So it's another example of what I've been saying over a few videos is like this new generation. I don't even know what his generation, what is it, generation?
I have no idea.
What comes after the millennials?
I don't know.
So out of touch with that. But so that's going
future,
to be
though.
Ushering in the crypto space.
This is your future, though.
Yeah.
So it's the kids that don't learn how to code right now at the very early age are going to be the ones working for these guys.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's pretty much it.
I mean, and it's the same thing, like we're seeing with the benefit of being able to code with my other video going over flash loans. If you know how to write a smart contract, you can take advantage of these smart loans.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have to deal with all the fees involved as well, but you're way ahead of the curve in that way as well.
You know what? So. They're probably going to start their own. There's so much going on behind the scenes right now from really young kids starting up platforms, and we will soon hear about it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really fun to watch, to see a brand new generation taking over. And you know what? They're not going to be working for government. They're too smart for that.
Yeah.
So they're going to be working for themselves, and they're going to be able to use their creativity, and they're going to be able to do whatever they want without some red tape, because you know what turns kids off more than anything? Red tape.
Yeah.
And governments don't understand that yet, which is fantastic.
Yeah. You guys are making fun of my hair today. That's not nice, guys.
What's wrong with your
It's not
hair?
a straw hat. Maybe I put too much hair gel in. Give me a break. Okay.
Oh, I got
you guys are funny.
You got another Patreon. Cool.
Oh, thanks, Patreon.
Yeah. Dee Dee says the story is true, then the kid is a legend. Absolutely.
Yeah,
for sure.
But the downside here is he is facing like 30 felony counts or charges, or maybe 30 charges, and some of them are felonies at least. And so I think he's gonna get something like 5 years in prison. So that might shape how he shows up in prison.
Nah.
It's like his mid-20s.
You know what? They have internet in prison, which means he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dragon Ball Crypto asked, tell us, Heidi, was it really because of taxes you got rid of your citizenship, right? LOL. I mean, it honestly wasn't the main factor, but it was certainly a contributing factor. And definitely not going to say that when you're renouncing.
Well, considering all the paperwork that we had to go through with getting bank accounts and all this other stuff, and starting wanting to start a business here, and you know, it's a pain in the butt, and then you know, having to file taxes like every year, and then hoping that you get it right. It's what?
Sorry, it's because I have there.
Heidi, move.
You guys are cracking me up. Okay.
Yeah,
there we go. I'll go like this. There we go.
Nah, it's fine.
Continue.
It'll switch. That's hilarious.
I'll just do this. Okay, what were you saying?
So, yeah, I mean, taxes is definitely one of them, obviously. But, I mean, if anybody ever said taxes was not part of the reasons, they're lying. But it's not just paying taxes. Fine, just because if there was, a automatic deduction or whatever of paying taxes, great. But the fact is, I've seen my friends and, you know, having to doing this for a long time and having to file for paperwork, hoping that, you know, it gets to the IRS on time, and then stressing about, did I do it right because I'm overseas right now? I hope I did, even though they haven't been there in years. it's just no point, So, and FACTA, holy cow, man. Having a bank account overseas over $10,000 and then you have, and then you don't report it. Oh boy, you are in big trouble.
Yeah. And
why are you in big trouble? Well, look up FACTA and FBAR and all this other garbage they make you go through. Definitely, I hate it. Like it's just a weight lifted off of both of us.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Toby's gonna have to do his renouncement.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'm a bit more like to the point.
We did it separately for reasons, but anyway, it's kind of funny. Actually, yeah. I'm not gonna talk about it. Okay.
Sure.
Sorry.
I'll do mine.
Yeah. So, and especially, I think just more so because from the get-go, we both knew that we were never going to put roots down in the U.S. And that was like the main reason why. If there was a chance of us like wanting to get back to the U.S. for whatever reason, we probably would never announce. But we knew right from the get-go that wasn't going to be the case.
Yeah, I mean, our most of our friends and family are overseas anyway. So, I mean, I have my mother in the U.S. right now. So
yeah. Got to get her out here.
Yeah, I know, right? So that should be nice.
Come on, Mrs. Cunningham.
It's because he'll miss Hawaii and Cali waves too much. I already did. Yeah, I lived in Hawaii and California, and actually the waves over where I surf now are 100 times better.
More consistent.
Way more consistent, bigger, and less crowded. Perfect.
Yeah. Toby's living his best life here.
Yeah, I'm loving it. Very happy.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what's been happening with the crypto markets. It seems like every time we have a live stream, Bitcoin does pretty good, or something is happening for the benefit.
So
I don't know what's happening now.
I've got a different opinion to what this has to say, but go first.
But it's okay. So this is interesting. It's always everyone's trying to figure out, what's gonna spark next, what's gonna pump and why. And how are those profits, how are people going to use those profits, and where are they going to go with them to make other coins pop? So this article is kind of going over, again, for those of you who are new and don't know, links to all of these articles can be found down below in the video description. So article is saying how, like what we've been saying all along, DeFi is the new ICO phase. It's probably going to be a lot longer lived. But it talks about how in this past week, like $80 billion have entered the cryptocurrency market. That is new capital entering this space. And they're going towards actually the big cap coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is obviously what we saw recently. Bitcoin hit like 12,000, Ethereum hit like 400, which is kind of cool. But here there's a graph being showed by us for Nuggets News saying he was pointing out the dangers of leverage trading with a stark visual snapshot of the 5-minute Ethereum chart. That is a sharp drop. Sharp drop.
Yeah.
So yeah, people playing fast and loose with their leverage positions, and
it's going to happen the whole way up.
It's crazy.
The whole way up, and it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
It's going to get way worse.
But what's interesting, too, is now with Ethereum finally doing something, it's saying it broke out of its slump because it finally hit a higher high, which apparently that's all it ever needed to do. So it's a good thing for these DeFi platforms who are obviously invested in Ethereum if they are based on Ethereum. Now their investments are worth more money, so that means that they can afford to hire more staff, to build stronger infrastructure for their platforms, to have a better experience for the end users. So we've gone through this pretty long, drawn out, I don't know if it's necessarily a bear market recently, but at least like last year or so, it was pretty slow going. So these projects that are trying to build something without any, real increase in capital, it's been pretty hard. So now we can see what they're going to do with this new income that's coming in through their appreciating assets. So now maybe there's a lot of hype about DeFi, people seeing this income coming in, or people seeing a lot of profits. So that's inspired more people to enter the cryptocurrency space. But this time they're entering into Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Sure.
Yeah.
And people say that this is because DeFi is pretty much the reason why the space is going up now.
Yeah.
In price. But my argument there is no.
You're hot and cold with the DeFi.
No. I mean, just look at gold and silver. I think gold hit $2,000, which is its all-time ever high, just last week, I think. And so, silver and gold have been going up too. Why? It's because the Fed is printing, absurd amounts of currency out of thin air. And that is now reaching the markets. And I knew that was going to happen. I didn't think it would actually come this soon. But yeah, this is inflation. This is the US dollar inflating away, and every other currency as well. So, yep, that's just what it is. I don't think that it was a coincidence that gold hit the same, an all-time high. Because the DeFi market? No, it's because of inflation. So just look at the dollar got pounded.
Yeah.
So
actually, I had a new Patreon member, Keith, asked me, he's new to the crypto space, and I think it's epic. He's asking questions like this, and he's finally identifying like the hypocrisy of valuing Bitcoin in terms of something like the USD, something that is inflating, that is devaluing. And he's saying like, okay, yeah, like one day Bitcoin's going to be valued at 100,000 US dollars, but the US dollar is going to be crap. And so I think maybe one day Bitcoin will finally be looked at in terms of one Bitcoin. What can one Bitcoin buy you? And yeah, that's also when utility is really going to kick in. But the thing is that if you're holding your wealth in a devaluing asset to get into a position of something like Bitcoin, it's going to become exponentially more expensive because your monetary instrument, your currency is devaluing, and the thing you want to buy is more expensive.
Well, yeah, and George Ditt just said, Feds have printed, or the Fed has printed more in 3 months than in the last 100 years or whatever. Yeah, I think that was an article that I read. I think I read a couple of those articles, yeah. So they're printing like crazy, and there's a reason for that, because they're not letting a calamity go to waste. They're not letting this whole thing go to waste. They're going to pull all stops. It doesn't matter if tomorrow that there was a cure for anything. It wouldn't matter whatsoever. They are going to pound the table, go, nope, we have to keep everything closed, and they are going to print, and they are going to destroy people's lives. And this is exactly what they're doing. Just look at the GDP. I'm going off this at the top of my head from what I read a couple days ago. The GDP dropped 33%. Just like, I think it was the last month or so.
I think you said 36%.
No, 33, I think. Yeah, so like that's crazy. That's more than the Great Depression. That's more than the Great Recession. That's more than... what do you call something that's so much worse than the Great Depression? Like the Greatest Depression? Probably. I know there was one Great Depression before the Great Depression, but they never called it the Great Depression. It was in 1919, 1920s, but the government backed out and didn't.
They let it go.
They let it go. It recovered. Just go ahead and look it up. And then back in the 30s, that's when it really hit the fan. And so it's crazy. Yeah, and also the Fed has 2 books. So their balance sheet is growing. I think it's at $8 trillion right now. I wouldn't be surprised if it hits 10 to 12 very soon. And then also their second book, which isn't in the public eye. I'm sure that's probably in the $60 to $100 trillion. They're buying up everything. So grab what you can. This space will keep you safe.
Yeah. Johann Hoffman, he asked, you must have a lot of money to change citizenship, ... Very expensive. I think I remember you actually commenting on my St. Kitts and Nevis getting that second citizenship, something like this, like thinking I was born rich or something. That was not the case at all whatsoever. I've had many annoying, low-paying, hard-working jobs throughout my life. My ability to gain a second citizenship through investment is a direct result of my involvement in this cryptocurrency space and taking full advantage of a bull run. That is the only reason I would ever be able to afford anything like this. And it's something that Toby and we discuss a lot, and it should be something maybe that we talk about, especially as it seems like this bull run might be kicking in soon, is really for anyone who is invested in this crypto space, have a plan of like what your ideal situation would be and figure out how you can actually what logistically you need to do with your investments, whether it's adjusting, where you're storing it, which exchanges you are a part of, get a tax professional on hand, and yeah, like I've wanted a second citizenship for quite a while, and when that opportunity presented itself to me, I took full advantage, and that's the only reason I was able to afford something like this. And it's also a direct result of being early and being consistent and staying on top of the developments of this cryptocurrency space. If you can be advantageous as best you can really change your life in huge ways. Yeah, I mean, we were the budget masters.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have a car.
We put it all in Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah, but we were also very, very careful with money because we knew a bigger picture that we wanted for ourselves. That we knew that if we really, batten down the hatches and were smart about how we budget and what we prioritized, we can make big things happen. And it's been working very well for us so far.
Yeah, and also to some of our friends, that have started listening to us and taking our advice, and we have kind of like a split down the middle group of friends, some that completely ignore us, think we're nuts, think we're wasting our time with this, and think their work is meant for outside and doing other stuff. And I'm like, well, I think we need to take advantage of this right now. We're educating people. I think this is really important to bank the unbanked as well. That's one of my passions in life. It's not just to make a crap ton of money. It's actually to make a difference in people's lives and help people. So that's why Heidi has her course. And, that's why I'm involved in trying to bank the unbanked, which is great. So, there's 2.3 billion people in the world that do not have a bank.
You guys are cracking me up now. Sorry. HR777 asked, Toby, does Heidi do a good job managing money? Toby's amazing at managing money, actually. Yeah. That's Toby's. Would you... what would you recommend to person that does have a second citizenship? I'm not sure what your...
You have a Nigerian passport? Well, Nigerian passport, as I recall, isn't the best passport. Yeah. It's pretty limited to the amount of
because passports are generally for traveling, right? Or, being attached to a certain country, what their government is like.
Yeah. So, I mean, like anybody involved in this space right now at the beginning of a bull market, most likely will be in the position by the end of this bull run to go ahead and purchase a second citizenship. Mm-hmm. Like this was so far out of my dream that we could have been able to afford this when we first started in crypto, but I knew that eventually
quite
it was going to happen.
Frankly, we didn't really take full advantage of the bull run either.
We didn't, yeah.
Like, we didn't know for sure what was going to happen, so we just kind of kept hanging on to see what was going to happen.
But now...
And then now we're like, okay, we're ready now.
Actually, this is the third one I've been in. And,
but like majorly been in. Before, the first one was probably like just dabbling.
I just remember buying like, what was it, a Litecoin at 20 cents. And I'm like, guys, check this out. My friends are like, oh, I got more Bitcoin than you or whatever.
Yeah.
So we're having like, I mean, this is when Bitcoin wasn't very much money, but
Yeah.
it was pretty funny how it first started. But yeah, now it's like, we know what can happen. I think there's going to be more people involved in this space as well. You're going to have pretty much the whole world jumping in fairly soon.
And what good timing.
Yeah.
I mean.
Cool. And now you can't say there's like a conspiracy of like the Fed printing a bunch of currency out of thin air. I think I think the world's waking up pretty fast to going, okay, these guys are just crazy. Yeah. I think the Fed knows that people are waking up really fast. And that's why they're going out of control. This is the end of the.
They're just like making it rain on everyone.
And this is literally man. It's just started too. I mean, it's gonna ramp up like crazy. So, yeah.
I just want to say, Angus, thank you so much for this comment. It was really sweet. He said, "You're the face of crypto, Heidi. Been a rock for everyone for years. Appreciated. I appreciate you for sticking around for so long. It's really great. That's why I do it. So." That's great. Thank you. Tracy says Toby gets a weekly allowance from Heidi. Can't trust surf bums with cash.
Yeah, that's right.
This surf bum is an anomaly in many ways.
Yeah. It's funny. I get all these random professional surfers from around the world just like writing me all of a sudden like, hey,
yeah. Little
what
canaries.
do I do?
These are little canaries. It's either
right.
a signal of really how bad that they're waking up to how bad things are.
Yeah.
Or how aware they are of Bitcoin.
I think they're seeing it.
Either way, it's pretty good.
Up.
It's a good indication either way.
It's the start of a bull. Very start.
Skynet is asking, will you run an F2.0 staking node? We're working on it.
Yeah, we have
probably going to be doing that. We have a friend partner who is definitely learning every day more and more how to do that for different coins. Yeah. So
and he's
it is on the list.
One of the most honest people we've ever met.
Yeah.
Yes.
Xavier is asking, is your entirety or majority of your portfolio in cryptos? Is that what you guys are recommending? And I believe St. Lucia requires a $100,000 investment.
Well, we do have silver in Singapore. We bought at the very, very bottom.
And we purchased some property.
And we purchased property, yeah.
But and then.
But remember, like 4 months ago, when silver dropped to like $12, we pretty much bought. I'm like, all right, buy it.
Yeah.
It's doubled since then, so.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Tracy. Oh, Tasman said I didn't take profits like I should have.
That's all right. You will.
Tracy said I got wrecked in 2017, 2018. I held all the way down.
Yeah.
Xenophobic
by the way, about selling, once again, I'm gonna beat a dead horse with this, but we are going to tell everybody 5 minutes after we sell.
On our Patreon account.
I'm not going to tell when we are selling. I'm going to say 5 minutes after we sell.
Because we have to actually do it.
Yeah. So that's Patreon, yeah.
Yeah. It's very weird to think that soon your crypto will be the only money left in existence. Maybe. Yeah. A lot of people have been living in that utopia, so they'd be like, finally.
We'll see. I mean, there's people around here that, where we live, where they're not going to be on crypto for a very long time.
Yeah.
They're just not. I mean, it's just, they don't really have a phone or anything, and they just go and sell veggies, and it's great. They're wonderful people, and that's fine. But as far as like houses and stuff, I think people are going to start buying real estate with a lot more real estate with Bitcoin and Ethereum as well, especially in Dubai. I remember during the bull run, people were starting to do that.
That was a very crypto friendly place.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so let me get back into the articles a little bit. We'll be checking in with the live stream. I know.
Sorry, we're going way far.
So just to talk about, shorting Bitcoin, it's something that we're always kind of making fun of people who short Bitcoin on Twitter. But especially in this time frame, why that's not necessarily a good idea. I know Bitcoin went to 12,000. A lot of people were saying it's going to retrace. This article is saying how there is a kind of a threat around the price range of, I think, like 9,600 due to the futures contracts on the CME. Does it say it in here? So it could go down there, but for people who are shorting it, I mean, that's such a risk. It says the CME unfilled gap is the price between 9,925 and 9,665. That's a pretty big gap. That typically always gets filled, so that could be something to look out for those of you who are into that. But Lark, the Crypto Lark,
I don't care about any of that.
He's a pretty cool YouTuber. If you don't know, I definitely suggest you check out his YouTube channel, the Crypto Lark.
Check this chart out.
And yeah, he has a really amazing point here. He says a 30 to 40% correction following a parabolic bull run does not deviate Bitcoin from heading higher. So even a 30 to 40% drop in Bitcoin doesn't mean the overall big trend of the bull run is over. For example, like we saw maybe a 13% drop. He says, Lark says...
40% drops, 30 to 40%.
Yeah, the last bull run, Bitcoin had multiple pullbacks of 30 to 40%.
I think it had six of them.
And right now, they all to test a 200-day moving average. Selling your Bitcoin now or shorting it on a 13% pullback is like selling on the red circle on this chart. Insane gains are coming. Don't get shaken out. Like, it's another analogy that I know you love to use too, is like picking up pennies in front of a steamroller.
That's what it is.
Like, during a bull run is the easiest time to make money. You literally just hold on.
Why would you short?
You ideally would accumulate during the boring phase like we just had. Like, if you've been on our Patreon, I do all these trade alerts of accumulating, and I do that so then I can like enjoy the fruits of that labor.
The people that were shorting Ether at $20 when it reached $20, I remember.
Oh, thank you, Johan. That's amazing.
Thanks, Johan. I appreciate it. Awesome. Okay. The people that were shorting Ether, or at $20, I remember they're like, it's a scam, blah, 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 it's a scam. And they got annihilated because, when the DAO happened, I don't know if you guys heard of the DAO, but the
DAO disaster in Ethereum.
Yeah. So there was something called
2016.
2016, and it went from $20 back down to like around $4 or $5. And I remember like, oh shoot, is this the end of Ethereum? But it was just a platform on top of Ether, and that's why they had a fork, and that's why you have Ether Classic right now. But I mean, people were shorting all the way from $20. I remember friends shorting from $20 to 50 to 60, 70 to 80. And then I remember Heidi, I went to Easter Island on a surf trip, and I'm watching this thing go up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, should I surf or should I just like look at this thing? This is crazy. I've never seen a bull run like this before.
That's between you rock and a hard place.
Yeah, and which was crazy. And I just remember, like, Heidi asking me, "Hey, I'm about to put my family's retirement all into Ethereum."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Absolutely, dump it all in right now. I don't care. Market order it. It doesn't matter." And she did, and now they. Freaking nice. That's awesome. Yeah. But so people have been shorting this all the way from $20 to $1,400 and I think $15 or something like that. I mean, you just can't. You can't short this stuff, guys. Like, charts don't matter. The second biggest driver in people is greed. Fear is number one. Greed is number two.
Man. You guys are amazing.
Tasman.
Thank you that's really
awesome.
Great. So thank you, Tasman.
That really helps out. So it's just like it's amazing to watch people shorting. Where I think the people that short the most really have not been through a bull run, because if they've been through a bull run, they're not going to short. Yeah. There's no point. What are you you're gonna make what 10% on a pullback when you're gonna miss out in 100x. Or more? Like, I mean, think about it. At 70-cent Ether to $1,400. Yeah. That's so many X's. Whatever.
Yeah. Dave D is asking, and other people have asked too, like, what are we exiting into? They're like, I hope they're not fiat. Dave D said, do a class on exit strategy. Like, when you sell, what are you buying? We are in this because we don't like fiat. It's an excellent point as well. And it's going to be highlighting this reality that we would love to be living in and one that we are unfortunately still living in. If you can buy property with Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, dude, search out that option. Find a real estate agent. Get in touch with the seller if you can, and like get a relationship. I wish we could have convinced people here to do that with Bitcoin. I think that's something that will be continuing to mature as well. People getting more interested in this, especially when you see the ease of it, the transfer of value, besides just doing like bank transfers and all that. It's a pain. Yeah. But I will definitely, Toby was just asking me actually what the topic of my next class is going to be. And that one is definitely high on my list. Dave D, if you're in Patreon, I think that you are, I'm going to go ahead and do another poll for my Patreon members of the CT Club to see what topic you guys most want to have covered as a class. It'll be in another couple weeks. But that's, I had a couple other articles, but they weren't really anything special. Do you think we should cover them?
I think, that's pretty much it. I mean, this is the bull run right here. Like, this is kind of the very beginnings of it. I mean, you'll know when we are facing, like, probably in the middle of the bull run, when we start seeing, 30% gains on Bitcoin or whatever. When you start seeing that, get ready. And then once we reach around 13,000, then 20,000 isn't even going to be a thing. Mm-hmm. That's just my prediction. I could be completely wrong, like mostly everybody else. But that's what I think, just because not a lot of people went, it didn't hold, 20,000 didn't hold for very long. Mm-hmm. So there wasn't a lot of people that could actually, get in at that point. But they got in a lot at 12,500 around there. And so that's where I see a lot of people probably trying to break even or something. But yeah, I mean, with the amount of cash that's going to be coming through, I think that it's going to be like butter through 20.
Johnny Cage, thank you. You guys are killing it today. It's amazing.
With all the coming inflation, it's smart to take some loans.
Is it smart?
Is it smart?
I'll take a loan out to get into Bitcoin. Also, what do you think about buying a house before inflation hits?
Ah, man. I mean, okay, so I didn't really want to get into this, but fine. I think, like, if you're going to take out a loan, I wouldn't take out a loan personally. I'm not like that. But as far as buying a house, like, you see, I mean, just look at LA. They're already, like, they're leaving in droves. Just people can't afford rent anymore. They're actually giving people incentives to go ahead and buy or to rent for them.
So property prices are going to go down.
And same as Manhattan.
Probably steeper than inflation is going to go up at this point.
I mean, if you want, okay, so you're going to have inflation going up, which is going to cause Bitcoin and all these cryptos to rise with it, and you're going to have property getting demolished because, I mean, this economic collapse is on its way, so you're going to have collapsing prices, I think, with housing. So
Dave said, I didn't want to talk about this, but you twisted my arm.
I mean, this is what I really love. I love economics. Yeah. I love understanding, like, where it's going to be headed. I've been really freaking good at that. Yeah. And it's almost too easy now. Just seeing what's going to happen. I mean, for Fed prints, and then things just, it's the market for you. You can only manipulate it for so long. So. Yeah.
Does Lamborghini make surfboards?
No, but they do sponsor my friend.
Yeah.
And
Italian
we took
surfer.
A spin in it. My friend actually rides for Lamborghini, so actually gave us a nice ride. You
guys had a joyride in LA.
In LA to the surfing awards.
It was a good send-off from the U.S.
That's pretty fun. Yeah.
Can you imagine, like, launching the ski from the boat ramp with a Lamborghini?
I mean, that's what we're going to be doing.
You're going to bottom out. So
No. So they have the Lamborghini SUV, which is such a, I mean, it's so expensive. I don't know why people would pay for that. But,
what a ridiculous car.
But yeah, he'll be launching the ski with that. So anyways.
One more question. Apart from Bitcoin, any other long-term buy and holds you're in? Silver and property? Like the house that we're in right now.
I don't care if the house we are in, we made the decision because we loved where it's at. It's more than just like a house. It's something that will further my passion, which is surfing big waves. And like we look out our window and we can see giant waves, and that's what I'm a visual person. So when I see big waves, it's going to make me want to go out there instead of like, I'm too lazy to check it, but yeah, first world.
You're a visual person.
Gregory Menarito likes muscle cars. Yeah, he sure does.
George Ditt, what do you think of Monero's future?
Yes.
Excellent.
So
I definitely think that's a worthwhile coin to hold long term for
Absolutely.
Sure. That one along with Bitcoin and Ethereum, yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Solid one. Okay, well, I think we about covered everything. There's 3 more articles if you guys feel like reading something interesting about how the SEC has sanctioned some cryptocurrencies, but they still managed to get some government funding. Just the mismanagement of funds on something like that speaks volumes.
Wow.
Pivotal point. You're crazy and amazing.
Wow,
Thank you so much.
Thanking the unbanked. I've heard about
Divi project token. Any thoughts and or research on it? P.S. You guys are the best. I haven't looked into that yet.
My friend has Wesley.
Oh yeah, he's in it.
Wesley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was in it from the very beginning,
and
he says it's amazing. So
nice.
I'm going to look more into that and the other one. Thank you.
Mana or
Pivotal. I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah. Let me see it.
Cool.
The other one.
Maybe
we'll do a tweet about it. It's highlighted, so I'll find it.
Oh, okay. Well, Mara. Okay. We'll look
noted.
both into that.
It's been noted, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to wrap it up for today's live stream. Thank you so much for being so active in the live chat. We love talking with you guys. You guys are amazing. Bitcoin to the moon. Bitcoin Cash is a scam. That's such a funny YouTube name. You two are so humble while being a superstar, and you have so much knowledge. What's your newsletter, dude? Oh, my newsletter came out on Sunday.
But you can sign up for it free on learningcrypto.com.
Yeah, you just all you have to do is input your email and hit submit, and then I go ahead and manually take that email address and put on the newsletter. It comes out every Sunday. I didn't do it last week, but that's okay. Anyway, I can, just go there and then get signed up, and you'll get the new newsletter. Additionally, I believe you'll have access to all the previous newsletters as well. Thank you guys. You guys are amazing. It's been a great live stream. Really enjoyed it.
We love this.
So thank you. And we'll be coming to you again, as always, Monday at noon Eastern time. And until then, we hope you guys are staying happy and healthy. Take care.
And free.
And free. Yes.